My name is Marija, and I'm an architect, as Milos said. But I will not be talking about architecture today, which I can imagine is a relief for you. I will be talking about something a little bit more entertaining, animation, and how it can be used as a powerful tool of presenting your ideas. And it is a powerful tool, trust me. It's so powerful that it can make architecture seem fun. So, I was thinking, if I'm going to talk about it, I might as well Google it. So I did, and I found these two wonderful definitions, which first one says that animation is a state of being full of life, and the second one describes it as an illusion of movement in a film sequence. Now, both of these are correct, but the first one is the one I want you to pay attention to. It has synonyms such as spirit, enthusiasm, vigor, vivacity, eagerness. And this is the most important part of animation, in my opinion. This is the part that inhales life into inanimate objects and inhales life into your idea. And it's far more important than the how-to-do aspect of the discipline. More importantly, this is the part that each and every one of us is capable right now. All you need is a little bit of inspiration. So, I'm going to show you next the best work I ever did. Now, this is my first comic book. I did it back in 1996. And this is the level of drawing skill necessary to express an idea. Now, I did this for my brother for his birthday because I wanted to make him feel good. I wanted him to like it, and he did. But since I drew just a little bit of it, it became quite a pressure since he wanted to know more. He wanted to know all about the story that was going on. And this is when I learned the importance of a good script. Since I didn't have one, it was quite a disaster. So he would play around in the field and then give me a half an hour to finish a chapter, come back and see what happens. And this is when I first learned how story and the idea that I tried to sell is very important. Now, my first animation was not much more sophisticated than that, but it was an animation, so it's a step forward. This time I was really mad at my brother because he ate an ice cream when I wasn't around, my ice cream. So I left this on his screen, and as you can tell, it escalated quickly as... Thank you. So I drew a little ice cream there, and I wrote, "You'll see." So this animation certainly delivered a message, right? Later on, my animations became a little bit more sophisticated, and my messages as well. So, you know, I was looking at these animations with my brother, and this is when I decided to talk about animation. He said, he was looking at those animations and said, "Oh, Marija, you used to be fun. Now you only study architecture and sing jazz. Who likes that?" And so this is when he inspired me into thinking about implementing animation into something that I already love and do. Now, I'm going to show you how it all started in the world. This is one of the first animations ever made. It's done in 1912 by Mr. Winsor McCay. It's not the first animation ever, but it is certainly the most famous one. And I don't know about you, but I think my level of skill presented in previous examples is similar to this. And at this time, the technology was new, so that was the most important part of animation. But as we go down further down the history lane, we'll see that the message cartoons are trying to send are far more important. Of course, the technology has improved as well. So this is a Disney example, as you can tell, and this was a propaganda cartoon done during the Second World War in 1943. So it is actually... It talks about quite a serious subject with a comical twist to it. And it influences our childhood. It was aimed at general public, especially children. And as we all know, cartoons form us as people when we're very young. The second example is a linear Italian cartoon, very simplistic in expression, done by Mr. Osvaldo Cavandoli. It was done sometimes in 1970s and 1980s. And it is a simple cartoon, but the idea behind it and the humor behind it is quite great. So it just serves the purpose to show you that the complex drawing is not the main aspect of an animation. The idea behind it is far more important. And the last drawing I want to show you but for some, oh, there it is. Dumb Ways to Die, I'm sure some of you are familiar with this. It is a new example. It is a cartoon commercial served to send a message, and it's supposed to show how people should be more careful, basically. Sort of like a funny anti-smoking or anti-alcohol commercial with a comical twist, right? And it became quite popular. It had 72 million views on YouTube the last time I checked, so the message can be really strongly presented through this. Now, this is an example of my work, partial work. I couldn't show you the whole video. And it basically serves to show you that you don't have to be a professional to consider yourself fit to be an animator. Now, it's called The Life of a Dog, and it shows a retrospect story of a life of an abandoned dog, but it also represents a story of human mind and cultural state of people that live in my city. It shows an allegory of a human life. So I've done this for an architectural subject called Spaces of Spectacle, where my location were abandoned railroads and a train station that needed revival. So this showed the concept of my idea that later on became an exhibition. But the movie itself became a lot popular, so I won several awards for it, despite the very shameful camera work. And the most important, crucial part of this example is, I just want to tell you that, I mean, it's obvious that anyone can do that. All you need is a little bit of paper, well, a lot of paper, a pen, and a very bad camera. So, my work later on became a little bit more sophisticated. I educated myself, I connected to people. I think this is a very important part of learning about anything. And I used a lot of YouTube tutorials, which I always suggest. But despite the advance in techniques, I think the idea still is the most important part of the animation, and everything else comes later. So one of the latest projects that I've been working on, and this is just an experiment, was related to 3D mapping. Now, this is a fairly new way of animating, and it involves actually spatial geometry and projections on spatial geometry. So I wanted to learn how to do this, and it turns out all you need is a paint program or Photoshop, a projector that you can borrow, and basically a simple movie maker to connect the pictures. So I took a lot of shoe boxes and perfume boxes and set them. Then I pointed the projector at the boxes and just drew them as they were. And then I just colored them differently. I put a little bit of pictures in it. And what it became was this. It became an interesting spatial installation. People liked it. I managed to make music that follows the storyline. So basically, it just had a lot of effect, and it was generally very simple to do. And then I started thinking, what if I can use this technology and actually project on architectural forms and maybe bring architecture to life in this sense? And this is the project I'm still working on. I collaborated with a lot of people on this project. Actually, they started working on it before I joined in, but this project is very, very sustainable. It has ecological, economical, and social sustainability factors that sort of affected the form of the project. They made it quite simplistic, as you can see. So we thought, what would be the best way to present this project and its strength? So we decided that the social factor is very important, the most important one. We wanted to show how these people that should live there can actually enjoy their lives over there and how the project will prevail. So I drew all of these caricatures of characters that would actually live there, of people that have their own stories and that spread their stories throughout the project. And we won at this competition that we participated in with this project. I'm not saying that these caricatures of mine were the basis of our victory, but because the project is really strong in all of its aspects. But we are still working on the presentation, and right now, as I speak, we have an exhibition in Mikser in Belgrade. And I wish I was there, but I'm kind of glad I'm here. And right now, I'm working with my colleague on the projection on the model. So it's a work in progress. Don't mind the, again, terrible camera work. But I'm going to show you how we started working on the projection and how we want to bring life to it. Now, this is probably just the beginning of it, so it's not very representative, but it is something that we're working on, and the reason I'm showing you this is because I want to tell you that no matter what you do, to expand your horizons, to bring everything you like to do into your profession is very good, very important. And animation, in this sense, is actually the life of your idea. It doesn't have to be a 2D or 3D projection or anything like this. It can be anything that makes people see your idea just the way you see it. You can be your own director, your own screenwriter, you're an actor in a sense, as long as you imagine it, and you'll present it just as you imagine it. This is what I think animation is, so I'm going to end with the definition that I find more valuable, and a presentation that all that your mind is capable of can be presented in this manner. Now, I realize that the complex drawing that I drew here kind of contradicts the general idea where I wanted to say how simple everything can be made, so basically last night I changed the drawing and drew this. And I added a little bit of an animation just to make a point, to show you how creative I am and to show you that really anyone can do that and to prove that one of the best ways you can present your idea is in fact animation. So thank you very much. You've been wonderful.